Now I suppose all of you know the sound that a lion makes. If you live in Africa, you might know only too well and hear that roar echo across the grasslands. If you live elsewhere, you've probably read plenty of stories about the lion. Well, this is an African story about how the lion got his roar. Because, they say, once upon a time, in the olden days, the lion was silent. And he crept through those long grasses on the savannah, and then suddenly, with a rush, he pounced on his victim. And the poor creatures never knew where he was, so well camouflaged was he by the long, tall, golden grass, and they certainly couldn't hear him, as he never made a sound. Well, the animals decided that something had to be done, and they called a meeting, without the lion, of course. And they discussed, and they thought, and they puzzled, and they wondered, how on earth, why on earth, did the lion not make any noise when all of the rest of them made some sort of noise? They yapped, or they squeaked, or they yowled, or they tweeted, or something anyway. And at last, the hare said, "I've got an idea." "You, little hare? Oh, well, you can't run fast, so if you get into trouble, then certainly you can be out of danger quite quickly. All right, what's the idea?" "I'm not going to tell you. Let's see if it works." Well, the animals shrugged their shoulders and thought, nothing attempted, nothing done. So, the next day, oh, what a day it was. The sun was beating down, it was so hot, and it had been a long, hot, dry summer, and all the water holes had dried up, the river beds were sandy, there was hardly a trickle anywhere, and the animals were very, very thirsty. Well, the hare, he ran along, and he hid behind a big prickly bush, because he daren't risk this lion pouncing on him, but he could see the lion lying on his side and panting away. And he called out to the lion. "Lion," he said, "Lion, are you thirsty?"
What? Who's that? Oh, hare, yeah, of course I'm thirsty. Do you know where any water is?
"Well, as a matter of fact, I do," said Hare. "Oh, do you? Can you tell me where it is?" "Oh, well, better still, because it's a long way away, Lion. I could take you there. But it's awfully long. We'll have to go very fast, Lion."
Oh, all right, let me stretch a bit. All right, when do we set off?
"Right now," said Hare. Pwoshed. And all you could see in the distance was this ball of dust. Well, poor old Lion, he got up and he started running. He was soon very out of breath, I can tell you. "Hey, Hare, wait for me, wait for me." "Come on," said Hare, "come on, you've got to run faster than this if you want to get to the water hole." All right, said the lion. And he ran on and on and on and on. And the sun rose up high in the sky, and still there was the hare chasing up and over the rocky outcrops, down into the valleys, along the dried river beds, through the tall grasslands, on and on and on, and every now and again poor old Lion shouting out to Hare, "Hare, wait for me, I can't run as fast as you." "Well, you'll never get there," said Hare. "We need to be at the water hole before the evening when all the animals reach there. Come on, Lion, come on." And off he raced. Well, on and on and on they went, and by mid-afternoon that poor old Lion, he was padding up that last rocky outcrop, and at last they got to the top, and he just stopped and said to Hare, he said, I can't go on any longer." "Oh, look, it's just down in the valley there." No, not another step. I've just got to. And yes, our friend the lion was fast asleep. And as you may guess, that's exactly what Hare wanted. The hare had stopped underneath a giant honey locust tree. Or prickles. Long, spiky prickles sticking out from this honey locust tree. But hanging on one of these prickles was a large bag of sweet-smelling, sticky honey. thought Hare, just what I wanted. And he stood underneath this bag of honey, and with a great leap, up he reached, and with his hands caught that bag of honey and pulled it down. And then he sneaked over to the lion, who was lying dead to the world. And he took that honey, and he smeared it all over Lion's mane, and all down his back, and all down his legs, and in between his toes. And Lion, I suppose in his dreams, thinking that somebody was giving him a very nice massage, rolled over onto his back with a yawn, but he never woke up. And Hare smeared that honey all over his tummy, and then all around his cheeks, and in his nose, and up his nostrils, and round his eyes, until he was completely smeared with that sweet-smelling, sticky honey. And then he hopped away and hid behind the tree. And soon, as evening began to fall, yes, back came that great swarm of bees. And they got to the tree, and zzz, where's our honey gone? Zzz, who's stolen our honey? Zzz, there's the culprit. And they descended on poor Lion in a swarm, and they bit him, and they stung him on his nose, on his nostrils, on his head, in between his toes, in between his fingers, on his claws, on his backside, on his front side. They stung him all over, and poor Lion woke with a start, and he started to swat out with his front paws and kick out with his hind legs, and suddenly he was racing across and down the rocky outcrop, and he let out the most enormous roar. And that roar echoed across the grasslands and down the valleys and over the mountains, and all the animals heard that roar, and they knew that Hare had tricked Lion, and now they would always know, when Lion roared and his echo echoed over the land, that they might have a chance of escaping down that burrow, or up that tree, or into the river. And that, they say, is how the lion got his roar.